Alright, a daily update to you. So abomodiana subscribe to your channel no my. Now if you like a video, share now comment be as afabra a comment section when you permanent page brain I can kind amount. Now ebusia for K.Pratt na just waba bonti odinse bi to dwa wo chese. No one po. Sa easy officials ni bi. Any NPP executives bi wo se ya chi omo ni na atum sa ankrofo ni bi wo wo se ya chi omo atuma sa mi nkom wo prison. Because was he about saying na pink sheet it's me equal happy na pink sheet no the cry is different, the cry NPP different, and the cry and this is different. Na ye wo hanoma mako say easy or more office so mo na mako say near me wo ni na mu wie a mo de abehye NDC for no che NDC for no more about power no more many de omo pay NDC about power nti eba ne say na witimi say be trying to say NDC for na akosese niema easy office o say asama mo kan kuru bi anim ti sankrofo no sa obobom panyimfo ni bi o say achi omo ni na atum by this time omo ni easy officials ni ebusa for kam ni nkoti audio no nchemu a o de by ni nsem bi e ka ho kaka brana interview e koso ne ba de obi aso e de beto am so.
Everything went well and so on. My experiences are quite different from what is being put out in public. Richard, in my polling station, I waited for close to 3 hours to vote. What happened?
Was it a queue?
It wasn't a queue. By virtue of my age, I don't queue when I go to polling stations to vote. You know that.
Yeah.
By virtue of my age.
And beyond the age, this is...
No, just age. Yeah. Just age. Randy, when we went, the materials for that particular line, there were 2 lines in the polling stations, A and B. The materials for my line did not arrive until about 1.5 hours after polling had opened. The ballot papers came. You understand? And they came without a stamp. The stamps did not come. And then we had to wait another 1 hour or so for the stamps to come. And then they said something else had not come. I am inclined to believe that this was deliberate. And if it was deliberate, the only objective could have been an attempt at voter suppression. Now, how do you explain this? You know, and I know why I think that this could amount to voter suppression. But it didn't just happen in my polling station. It happened in several other polling stations. Voting started late. Now, when voting starts so late, especially in my case for 3 hours, what happens is that some people get frustrated, go back home, and never return. People who think that they don't have a lot at stake. So if you're looking at the number of persons, about 7 million persons who did not vote at all, this could be some of the reasons why they did not vote at all. Okay. Now, something else has happened that I think is most interesting, and has to do with some of the disputed, constituency results. My brother, how is it possible that you have pink sheets of the Electoral Commission itself, which are different from the pink sheets of the NPP and different from the pink sheets of the NDC? How is that possible?
It is possible.
Randy, we are now making impossibilities possible.
Yes.
How is that possible? Pink sheets. How are the pink sheets compiled? How are they validated? How can 3 institutions have different pink sheets?
It is possible.
Something went wrong. It's a clear indication of an attempt to rig.
I will be surprised if some of these electoral officials don't go to prison.
Because it's very strange. Pink sheet. I mean, Electoral Commission's pink sheet is different from NPP.
Then you can have parliamentary candidates challenging results and they say they don't have pink sheets.
Yes.
Let's use the Electoral Commission one. We don't have.
That's one.
One constituency.
One. And then you have parliamentary candidates who on the face of it have lost elections. They say, we don't have pink sheets. What we have is a
scan copy.
Snapshot.
Yes, snapshot.
How is that possible?
But I think,
how is that possible?
Because there's another thing.
And pen rating
in some of the constituencies.
Mm-hmm.
In the course of the coalition, people, because I do not have evidence to say that it's party A or party B, people rush in there, took possession of some of the pink sheets and destroyed them. We've seen videos.
Where? But if that happens, why would that happen?
A lot of the constituencies.
Why would that happen?
I've seen from City Channel 1, their platform. I've seen on.
So you're saying it happened where? At the coalition center?
Yes, coalition center.
Okay, so
I'm not challenging you.
Now, what about the records from the police station?
But I know.
Because you see, Chief, the law.
If you allow me.
I'm coming, Chief. The law says that when the counting is done at the polling station and the people sign and everything, a copy should be pasted at the polling station. Why was that not done? Why was that not done?
I don't know whether it was done or
it wasn't done.
But if they can go and take what is in possession of the EC and destroy it, ripping what is pasted at the police station wouldn't be.
No, but why wasn't it done? It is because of transparency.
I agree with you that those things ought to be done. And that
you are can. They say something about stepping on people's balls. It's not done more than what? How do they say it?
Not more than 3 times.
You say it's how is it? No, the kids have gone to school. How do you say?
Now the point is that I wanted to let Angoshi know why it is possible for the political parties.
I'm still saying it.
And it's for all the political parties to have scan copies. Because to even receive...
I'm not saying that it is impossible to have scan copies. I'm not saying that.
To receive those from the countryside. Because what the political parties do now is do their coalition from the polling station.
No, I'm saying that
so when you scan them, something happens to...
I understand, but parliamentary...
You can follow on that.
I'm saying parliamentary candidate in a constituency. You say you don't have your pink sheets.
We see it in some instances where these people are destroying some pink sheets.
Please, just 2 minutes ago, you said you can't tell whether it's party A or party B.
No, I'm saying
now
the video.
You say that
that particular video that I was talking about. That particular video that I was talking about. But the other videos that
you people were taunting NDC. They can't collect their results. They don't have pink sheets. They don't have whatever.
One that I'm talking
constituency.
About. They went and destroyed it.
Okay. So, I mean, for me, that is my worry. And I'm wondering to what extent in the previous elections these things happened.
A lot.
And if in the previous elections these things happened, to what extent would those elections declared by the Electoral Commission be valid if these things happened, you know? And it's a worry that I'm sure that subsequently would be investigated. Now, before the elections, one of the leading communicators of the New Patriotic Party actually announced that he had no doubt that the NDC could win the elections. And that if the NDC won the elections, the NPP had dwarfs who would move in and change the election results.
Who said that? Who is that?
Maurice Ampa. Okay. Now, can I finish? The dwarfs didn't show up. What happened?
They were caged.
Caged?
Yes. The dwarfs were caged. They were caged.
Well, the dwarfs didn't.
Perhaps maybe he was just kidding or just making some...
He was not kidding. He spoke about his own personal experiences with dwarfs.
That dwarfs
when he was a kid, they used to go and play football with dwarfs, and how dwarfs used to talk and so on. He had personal experiences with dwarfs. You understand? But unfortunately, those dwarfs didn't show up this time. And I'm just wondering where the dwarfs went.
I mean, the final match will be 2028, so don't worry. We all organize ourselves. This is a...
With your dwarfs in attendance?
Oh, no. We don't have dwarfs voting in NPP. we understand that we've lost these elections. We congratulate the NDC and President Mahama on their victory. What a political party like NPP need to understand is that it's painful to lose an elections, But we also need to understand that trying to scale over 8 years in being in power is extremely difficult.
Okay. Now can I finish? Can I finish now?
Okay.
I mean, one of the other lessons that this election teaches us, is that not all those who thump their chest as researchers and posters and so on are genuine. Many of them are absolute charlatans. Charlatans, complete charlatans.
Criminals.
Who just sit in the comfort of their bedrooms and for whatever reason, usually undignified reasons, concoct things and put them out. And that has become so very clear, with this election. Something else has become very, very clear, which is that many of the people who pretend that they are bodies with God and that God calls them on telephone every morning and so on are also absolute criminals, gangsters, and so on. The election results have shown that very clearly. All these gangsters in Kasok, and Gansok with horse tails and so on, they're just useless, bloody gangsters, criminals, trying to profit from elections and so on. And this election has exposed them big time. I'm hoping that we will learn the elections, we'll learn the lessons, and begin to put soothsayers where they actually belong. They're nothing but soothsayers, you understand? And those who go to them for medical reasons, for reasons of prosperity and so on, they should begin to take.
You can't just take those numbers and do those analysis, because I'm saying that between the 2020 register, the register that was used for 2020 and 2024, there are about 1.8 million new voters. How do you account for these persons in your analysis? Because if you don't account for them, then you are proceeding on the basis that the same people who were on the roll in 2020 are the same people on the roll in 2024. That's the basic flaw. And that is why I say that it is pedestrian and it is unintelligent.
Even if you assume that the same people who were on the roll in 2016 or 2020 are the same people on the road today, there could still be shifts.
Of course.
Which would not change the absolute numbers.
Of course.
But there could still be shifts.
In fact, following global info analytics, when I like to go beyond the 53% and 40-something percent and drill down to the data, you find something interesting. They kept people who voted for. And you see, we also assume that everybody who votes for a particular candidate is from the candidate's party.
Yeah.
Which is the biggest mistake that people make. Because people make choices on the basis of many. It could be that in 2020, free SHS. Perhaps people who had benefited, whether they are parents or students, you don't have a number to even account for that. People who did that on the basis of that policy, not because they belong to a party. So you don't even proceed on the assumption that every single person who voted for you is a member of your party. To say that then those votes are constant for you. At every point in time, you have those votes. But I can understand the purpose that analysis like that serves.
Of course.
So,
of course.
What I want to say is that these are data that have been thrown out by the elections. And individuals, academics, political parties will look at those numbers and do the analysis. We know that over the years, the numbers on the electoral roll continue to grow. Like you intimated earlier on, that the numbers that we saw in 2020 from the electoral roll went up by close to 2 million. Now we are looking at in excess of 18.7 million people on the electoral roll. But what we also know is that in 2016, a number of people voted for both President Mahama and Nana Addo Akufo-Addo. But in terms of the growth leading us to 2020, each of these personalities had their votes going up by a certain percentage. For instance, in 2016, you realize that President Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo got 5.7 million votes. Former President Mahama, currently President-elect, got 4.7 million votes. Let's look at these same numbers getting to 2020. In 2020, President Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo got 6.7 million votes. President Mahama moved from the 4.7 to 6.2, a growth of in excess of 1.5 million. That is from 2016 to 2020. President Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo votes also saw a growth of about 1 million from that. Now let's look at these numbers. Though now the personalities change in NPP side, but the NDC it remained constant. It's the same President Mahama. 2024, the vote this time I'm going to use NPP and NDC so that we can get a picture right. In 2024, the NPP lost 40% of the votes compared to the votes we accumulated in 2020.
You are correct.
40%.
You are correct.
So it means that 40% people voted for NPP in 2020 that did not show up to vote for varying reasons.
That's
which you are not ready to.
How do you say they failed to show up?
No, because you see, based on the numbers, I'm doing it based on my perspective of the numbers. You will do analysis in a particular manner. I disagree with the way you projected your analysis and the stance from which you came from. But that's fair. As for data analysis, you can look at it based on how you appreciate it. I'm saying that over 40% of people who voted for NPP did not show up to vote for NPP.
Why do you say they didn't show up?
If they showed up, they didn't vote for NPP. So I'm saying that they did not show up to vote for NPP. So it could be that...
No, say they did not vote for NPP. Don't say they didn't show up.
You could show up, but not vote for NPP, and you could also not show up.
Yes.
So both words and what the statement
No,
are
they're
used...
not the same. They showed up and did not vote for NPP. It's not the same as they didn't show up to vote for NPP. Those are substantially different.
It will satisfy both ends. If you show up, they did not show up to vote for NPP. It could mean that they do not go there at all. It could also mean that they showed up, but they did not vote for NPP. Yes.
Master, you are inventing your own English.
If you allow me, I'm not. But if you allow me, so realize that about 2 million votes that Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo got or the NPP got in 2020, we lost those votes in 2024.
That's accurate.
President Mahama in 2020 got 6.2 million votes. However, in 2024, President Mahama got 6.3. Now, let's watch something. Look at the growth from 2016 to 2020. The votes President Mahama got almost 1.5 million votes, addition to what he got previously.
Then Akufo-Addo got how many in addition?
Akufo-Addo got about 1 million.
More.
That is why 1 million more. That is why the 2016 margin of 1 million reduced to 500,000. So even in analysis, we could say that even if the same vote, a number of people showed up to vote for Akufo-Addo in 2020, or if MPD had gotten the same number of votes Akufo-Addo got in 2024, MPP would have won the elections by 400,000 votes.
I don't understand you.
I'm trying to say that just our projections and analysis.
So all I'm saying is that
you didn't get those votes.
No, of course we didn't get. See, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying this to undermine the victory the NDC and President Mahama have chopped.
No, don't worry about that.
They've won the election fair and square.
Don't worry about
But these are looking at the numbers that were thrown out to all of us as a result of the elections.
How do you know that those votes you didn't get are NPP votes? How do you know that?
I didn't say NPP votes.
Okay.
What I said was that the number of the people who voted, because in elections, your party members will vote for you. People who do not belong to your party will vote for you. Even NDC members can vote for you. But I'm talking about the people who voted for Nana Addo Akufo-Addo in 2020. The 6.7 million people who voted, a little over 6.7 million people who voted for Nana Addo Akufo-Addo in 2020. If NPP had gotten the same amount of votes in 2024, and based on what President Mahama got, NPP would have won the elections.
What is the purpose of this analysis?
No.
What is the purpose?
Allow me.
You have lost.
Oh, of course. I've already admitted that we've lost the election.
No amount of voodoo mathematics.
No, there's no voodoo mathematics here. You see,
or give you hope.
No. Ankwesi, I belong to a political party. We've gone into an elections. We lost the elections. It is right for us to look at it and analyze the numbers as it came. And look at what the party needs to do in terms of its reorganization, re-energizing, and remobilization, and going to the grassroots and combing the country to understand what really were the challenges and the difficulties. How come we lost 40% of votes we got in 2020, in 2024? We need to appreciate and get all those things. But whilst we are doing those analyses, it is also statistically true that what President Mahama got in 2020 and what he got in 2024, the difference is a little over 100,000.
So?
It's a fact.
So
I'm doing an analysis of facts. It's a lot of fact. So it means that there was not a lot of push for President Mahama in 2024.
Chief, how do you account? How do you account for the 1.7 million?
That did not vote for us.
No, the 1.8, almost 1.8 million